Hello, good evening, all my friends. Let me introduce. My name is Naufal. I'm from Sanden, One State Vocational School. I'm here to act as a moderator for tonight's topic. As for the topic, we will discuss, namely Extinct Dinosaur Day. Here I will guide the course of this discussion. The members of my group are Mr. Panji from Semarang Seven State Vocational School, Reza Ardiansyah from Surabaya One State Vocational School, Rima Odelia from Surabaya 13 PGRI State Vocational School, Rifki Ardiansyah from Tanjung Selar One State Vocational School, and also Rizkiansyah from Tanjung Selar 2 State Vocational School. Alright, guys, let's get started right away to the first presenter, Mr. Panji from State Vocational Tech School 7 Semarang to give a presentation. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, thank you to the moderator. I will start my presentation. Okay. My share screen are look udah kelihatan belum share screen-nya? Okay, I will start. Today's topic is the day the dinosaurs die. The first is background. Dinosaurs are ancient animals that we know from various science books. Dinosaurs first appeared on Earth about 225 million years ago. We know the existence of dinosaurs from the fossil found. People who study fossils are called paleontologists, while the science that studies them is called paleontology. Based on the explanation in the book Knowledge of Dinosaur by Amani Kirana, the discovery of this fossil was around 1000 years ago. In the 1800s, people began to think that the fossil they found were from prehistoric time. And dinosaurs become extinct millions of years ago. Next is the cause of the extinction of the dinosaur. According to Junior Encyclopedia, Dinosaur and Prehistoric Times, translated by A. Miranda, about 65 million years ago, dinosaurs disappeared from the face of the earth. Experts are still looking for the cause of their extinction. The book also explains several theories regarding the extinction of the dinosaur, which are as follows. Number one is theory of volcanic eruption. There is an opinion which states that the occurrence of volcanic eruption that spew lava and rain thus caused sunlight to not illuminate the earth so that plants and dinosaurs could not survive in this condition. And falling meteor theory. There is also an opinion that there is a rain of comets towards Earth or giant meteorites that fall to the Earth, causing fire, clouds of dust, and climate change. And next is temperature change theory. Dinosaurs could not adapt to sudden or frequent temperature change. If the Earth experienced very cold winters and hot summers, the dinosaur would run out of food and eventually die. And this is another theory. Another opinion says that the reason for the extinction of the dinosaur was poisoning by poisonous plants that began to grow on Earth. In addition, some say that dinosaur eggs were eaten by small mammals. And I think my presentation is enough. Thank you. I will give back to moderator.
Okay, thanks to Mr. Panji. Do any of you have anything to ask? Okay, fine. If not, next to Mr. Reza from State Vocational High School, One Surabaya. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready. First, let me present my screen. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, already started. First, let me introduce myself. My, my name is Reza Ardiansyah and I'm from State Vocational High School, One Surabaya. And I will try to present the day the dinosaurs died. One of the greatest illusions in life is continuity. 66 million years ago, the continuity of the dinosaurs had been going on for around 165 million years already, and it didn't seem this would change anytime soon. The world was warm and pleasant, and most of the land was covered with lush forest and an incredible diversity of trees, flowers, ferns, and trillions of critters. Dinosaur, Dinosaurs were ubiquitous and had diversified into hundreds of species of all shapes and sizes. Titanosaurs, largest gentle giants, shared the world with famous beasts like Tyrannosaurus rex or Edmontosaurus. Pectinodon hunted in the underground, while Edmontosaurus wandered coastlines and swamps. An ancient paradise, a world of plenty full of life. Next. As the detail in what what happened with 66 million years ago. 66 million years ago, maybe on a Tuesday afternoon, life was the same as it had been the day before, or 1,000 years before, or pretty much 1,000,000 years before. Things were good for our feathered dinosaur buddies until a tiny detail in the sky changed. If there were dinosaurs watching the stars, one night they may have noticed the appearance of a new star. A tiny dot they may sorry a tiny dot that for many weeks slowly become bigger and brighter until one fateful day it looked like another small moon in the night sky, and then it faded from sight as as for a few more hours, the illusion of continuity was upheld, until it was not anymore. In the morning, the object suddenly appears again, now almost as large as the sun in the sky and growing every moment, heading for the coast near the Yucatan Peninsula. It takes the asteroid only 2 seconds to pass through the thin layer between space and the ground to make contact as it enters the atmosphere at almost 60 times the speed of sound. And the asteroid hits the shallow ocean and the petrol below. As the asteroid hits the shallow ocean and the bedrock below, the energy of billions of nuclear weapons is released all at once as the asteroid vaporizes. A flash of light illuminates the sky as an eerie, bright, white shiver grows over the Gulf of Mexico. bedrock melts into seething hot plasma at tens of thousands of degrees Celsius. The thermal radiation from the explosion travels at the speed of light and immediately burns everything within a radius of about 1,050 and 500 kilometers. While the energy while the energy from the impact pushes too hard against Earth's crust that it loses all strength and flows away from the impact site like a liquid, creating a hole 25 kilometers deep and 100 kilometers wide. The ocean is pushed back for hundreds of kilometers, like when a kid jumps into a puddle.
If you any prob
Okay, sorry about that. Before I have a problem with my connection. Now I will presentation again, and I will continue it. Can you see my share screen?
yes.
Okay, I'll continue it. Hmm. The ocean is pushed back for hundreds of kilometers, like when a kid jumps into a puddle. As the crust bounces back, melted and flowing crust forms a temporary mountain, stretching 10 kilometers into the sky. An incredible amount of material is placed to the higher atmosphere or even out into space, as much as 60 times the original mass of the asteroid. The violence of the strike is felt everywhere on Earth within minutes. Next, powerful earthquake. A magnitude 11 earthquake may be the most powerful quake any living thing has ever witnessed in billions of years. It is so insanely strong that in India it might have shaken gigantic lava fields and causes volcanic eruptions that would last for 30,000 years and covered half of the Indian sub subcontinent with lava. Even on the side of Earth opposite the impact, the ground still moved by several meters. Nobody will sleep through this day. The gigantic explosion crashes against the atmosphere with unprecedented unprecedented violence and causes a shockwave that reaches speeds of more than 1,000 kilometers per hour near the site of impact similar to the hyper hurricanes on gas giants like Neptune. Next, in Middle America. In Middle America, basically any soil, vegetation, or animal is just shredded into into pieces and catapulted thousands of kilometer away. Now the formerly displaced oceans return. As the temporary mountain at the site of impact collapses, a ring of tsunamis as high as 1 kilometer, enough to cover all skyscrapers human would ever build, head, heads in all directions. As they crest into the coasts of the continents surrounding the impact, they will drown thousands of kilometers of coastline. 15 hours later, some of the wave that get refracted around South America will still tower as much as 100 meters into the sky. But we still have not talked about the worst thing yet. A lot of the debris yeeted into space will orbit Earth for thousands of years. Some hit the Moon or even Mars, but most of it comes right back. When things fall through the atmosphere at much speeds, they get very hot, like hundreds of degrees hot, and it happens to millions of tons of material everywhere. It rapidly heats up the atmosphere into insane temperatures. We don't know exactly how hot it got or how long this heat stroke lasted, but there are two ideas here. Either the air was heated to hundreds of degrees for a few minutes or to thousands of degrees for around 1 minute. In any case, the air becomes as hot as the inside of an industrial oven. However, the cool effects of this were incontested, but if enough heat reached the surface, a lot of plants and animals would have died very quickly if they couldn't bury themselves or escape into caves. The, the heat together with raining debris also may have ignited any material on forest floors and sparked wildfires as the earth radiated under the searing hot plum. In a few hours, massive wildfires were probably burning around the globe. Some of them may have lasted for months and turned Earth into a horrifying, hot, hellish version of itself. Next, the day of the impact draws to an end. As the day of the impact draws to an end, many of the dinosaurs are already dead, but the worst is still to become. The gigantic plume of vaporized material reaches the upper atmosphere and spread around the whole globe. Together with the soot from the burning planet and the aerosols generated at impact, the planet sinks into a deep darkness, with the only remaining raging fires illuminating the scenery. Whatever planets survive the first storms will now be starved for sunlight as global photosynthesis is temporarily shut down. Within days, temperatures rise as much as 25 degrees Celsius. Next, the perceived effects in the ocean. The ocean were especially hit hard. The lack of sunlight killed over 90% of plankton, which form the basis of the food web of marine life. Ultimately, this would kill off the largest marine reptiles and ammonites ammonites that used to dominate the seas. The biosphere the survivors now find themselves in is like an alien landscape. Ash, de- ash, debris, and the burned remains of the formerly lush and blooming life cover the ground. The sky is dark and it is cold. The fresh food is scarce, while fungi thrive. For months and years, the planet will be a hostile and deadly space. The sudden global winter will last for decades. At least 75% of all species on Earth will just vanish from existence. And from as the day ends. And so as the day ends, the world is suddenly different. The continuity that went on for millions of years is no more. The era of the dinosaurs is over, just like that. Eventually, from the ashes of the old world, survivors emerged. First, first, they are the direct descendants of the dinosaurs and mammals that would eventually become the dominant animals on the planet. Without the sudden sorry, without the sudden destruction of dinosaur continuity that completely changed the planet and all life on it, we might have never had the opportunity to become what we are today. And next is human era. It is not clear how long the human era will last. So far, modern humans have been around for 0.1% of the time the dinosaurs were, and in this short amount of time we've achieved impressive feats, from making the world our own to reaching space and splitting the atom. Yet our future and our long-term survival is not a given. If we are not careful, it, it could end in an instant, like the age of the dinosaurs ended. But in contrast to them, we know that our continuity is fragile. Even if it doesn't feel like it, we can be prepared and be vigilant and hopeful. If we are lucky, our journey will go on for a long, long time. Okay, thank you. And I will give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thanks to Mr. Reza. Do any of you have anything to ask? Okay, fine. If not, next to Miss Rima from State Vocational High School, PGRI 13 Surabaya. Are you ready? Okay, before getting into the material, allow me to present. semakin kuat dirasakan. Karena 66 billion years ago, the continuity of the dinosaurs has lasted for about 165 million years, and it does look like this will change anytime soon. The world will swarm and pleasant, and most of the land is covered with dense forests and diversity of trees, flowers, plants. One night they may notice a new star making a tiny plot, which over the weeks has slowly gotten bigger and bigger until one wonderful day it looking like another small mound in the night sky. And then, despite dirt from view well displayed into the earth's shadow for several more hours, the illusion of continuity was maintained until it was no longer there. In, in the morning, the object suddenly appeared again, now almost as big as the sun in the sky and growing every moment towards toward the coast near Captain Peninsula. The asteroid takes only 2 seconds to pass through the thin layer between space and the ground to make contact, and upon entering the atmosphere at nearly 60 times the speed of sound. When asteroid hits the shallow ocean and bedrock, the energy of billions of nuclear weapons is released, and as the asteroid approaches, a flash of light lit up the sky as a bright white ball, scary honest glowing over the Gulf of Mexico. The truck melts into hot plasma that boils at tens of thousands of degrees Celsius. The thermal radiation from the explosion travels at the speed of light and soon incinerated everything within a radius of about 1,500 kilometers. Meanwhile, the energy from the impact pushes so hard into the Earth's crust, so it loses force and force from the impact. This is like a liquid creating a hole 25 kilometers deep and 100 kilometers wide. The ocean was pushed back hundreds of kilometers, like when a child jumps into a pool of water. As the news rocket closer, both had method and following forward a temporary mountain
that sticks 10 kilometers into the sky, and incredible amount of material wait, sorry, were placed into the greater atmosphere of even into outer space as much as 60 times the asteroid original mass. A magnitude 11 earthquake, perhaps the most powerful earthquake any living thing has witnessed in billions of years. It is so powerful, that in India it might have second giant lava fields and caused a volcanic eruption that would last for 30,000 years and covered half of the Indian subcontinent with lava, even on the side of the Earth opposite the impact. The ground still moves several meters. A gigantic explosion hit the atmosphere with atmospheric variance and caused a shock wave that reached speed of over 1,000 kilometers per hour near an impact site when an object first struck the atmosphere at such a speed it gets very hot, like hundreds of degrees hot, and this is happening to millions of tons of material and everywhere. This rapidly heated the atmosphere to incredible temperatures. Some of the may have proceeded of months and thrown the earth into a very hot and terrible version of hell. When the heat of it will burn many dinosaurs will be dead, but the world is yet to come when giant clumps of every material reach the upper atmosphere and spread all over the world, together with sand from a burning planet and aerosols generated of impact. The planet sinks into the darkness, with only remains of living planes illuminating the skies wherever planes survey the freeze from will now be severed for sunlight. Global global photosynthesis global photosynthesis was temporarily stopped in the day. The temperature drops to 25 Celsius. The oceans were devastated. Lack of sunlight kills more than 90% of the plankton, which is the basis of the food web of marine life. Ultimately, this will kill the larger marine rapids and ammonites that once stunted places. For months and years, this planet will be hostile and developed. A someday global winter will last for decades. At least 65% of all species are a real single decipher. So when the day after the world suddenly became deferred, the continuity that lets the formulous various basic properties the era of dinosaurs has ended. Okay, that's all from my presentation. Sorry if there is wrong, but I will return it to the moderator.
Okay, thanks to Ms. Risma. Do any of you have anything to ask? Okay, fine. If not, okay. Because the next presenter was not present. Next to Mr. Rizkiansyah from State Vocational High School to Tanjung Selor. Are you ready?
Ready. Wait. Okay. Wait. Can you see my screen? Hello? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Rizkiansyah. I'm from Vocational High School to Tanjung Selor. Let me uh, let me pre- let me present my presentation. The extent of land species. 66 million years ago, the continuity of the dinosaurs has lasted for about 165 million years to the world was warm and pleasant. Most the land on Earth is covered by dense forests with a variety of extraordinary trees, flowers, vegetables, and trillions of creatures. Dinosaurs are everywhere and have been verified into hundreds of species of all species and sizes. Life is still the same as the day uh, before, or 1,000 years before, or almost a million years before. Everything is fine. Asteroid hit the Earth. Hit Earth. One that day, an any object that was almost as big as the sun suddenly appeared and keep getting bigger all the time. The asteroid is very large, even bigger than the Mount Everest. Then it crashed into the Earth in a short time, namely 2 seconds, with a speed of almost 60 times to the speed of sound. The world at the time was calm, but in a matter of a few seconds, everything changed to be destroyed suddenly. Thermal radiation from the explosion traveled at the speed of light and burned everything within a radius of about 1,500 kilometers from the one asteroid. The extent of sea species. A few day of a few days after the incident, the temperature dropped to 25 degrees Celsius due to the lack of sunlight. More than 19% of the plankton, which is the basis of the food chains of marine life, in the end killed the sea reptile and ammonite that used to rule the seas. At the least, 75 of all the species of the earth simply the separate because of the winter that to hit the earth for several decades, and this water also make flu special into cannibalism. Thank you. This is my presentation. I will give back to moderator.
Okay. Thanks to Mr. Rizkiansyah. Do any of you have anything to ask? Okay, fine. If not, choose the presentation of our. I, as a moderator, apologize for the shortcomings. And thank you for your attention. And see you.